Yeah. Worked them. Oh, this is brutal. It's a lobster of a shrimp. Yes. Getting the boat ready to go and truck locked itself. But luckily we have the tools necessary to break into the truck again. We'll get it. Steady now. Got it.
Alright, let's go shrimping.
Alright guys, so we got some key factors going into tonight. We've got a good north wind, which gets all the crustaceans and crabs and flounders and snakes and all sorts of stuff stirred up in the bay, and then they just get sucked out when the tide changes from high to low. So that's a really good time for us to get out here. Also, it was a full moon like yesterday, so that creates really big tides. We got higher high tides and lower lows. And then what else? Oh, it's cold. A lot of people associate the cold with shrimping. Like, oh, it's gonna be cold tonight, they're gonna be running. That's kind of an old wives' tale. It has to do with phase of the moon as well as that north wind, at least for where we're at, down here in the Keys. Yeah, we'll keep you posted on what other cool things we find out there tonight. See you on the water. So from that wrapped boat, there we go. Bring them on back. A lot of females.
Get them?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's crazy how we just
see this baby flounder. Look at him. He's tiny.
Get him closer. Oh, look at his little belly.
He's tiny.
If we had to, he'd be dinner.
Dinner!
He'd be a little protein bar.
We're gonna release him though. He's cool looking. Look at that. Look at his little underbelly. Just goes to show there's so many cool little...
Hold it and flatten your palm.
He doesn't want to be flat. Whoa! Dude just fell in the water.
Yeah, it feels warmer than out here.
It does now. So a freaking dude literally just fell in the water. We're gonna hang out right here just to make sure he doesn't actually drown. I think he's gonna be okay, but he might be drunk.
Alright, update time. It is windy and it is freezing, and there's a ton of boats out here. Can't really see that great, but there's one. 1, 2, 3, 4 up there. We've got a lot of blue crab so far, but the shrimp have yet to make their way because we're still waiting on the tide to go the opposite way, and we're fighting the wind.
Wind's pushing us one way, the tide's pushing us the other.
So God's not. We will see if in an hour or two. So we're picking up trash, get a little good karma action going, and we'll see if it pans out.
I'm just gonna work us a little bit back and forth right here. There's a swell or something underneath of us. There's one coming up on your right, Nico. Right, I see him.
Right there, hey, right there. I just got 6.
6? Wow. There you go. Scare them back to you. Slowly, slowly. Oh, look, an iguana. He's having a hard day.
Where?
He's just in the water. He swam away. This is where we're at. Half a bucket so far. Jordan is throwing the cast net. Look at that jumbo. Look at those. Look at that guy right there. Oh my word. Yeah. That's a jumbo too.
Legs inside of a...
I know, I'm gonna put this over to the thing. Fucking worked them. Worked them. Oh my god, dude. Yo, throw in the middle again. Holy, that was a pile of them, Daniel.
Did you empty the net?
Yeah. Watch this. Back down on it, and it's gonna sink right on top of their heads. I'm waiting for one that's just so heavy you can't even pull it up. Just hit a school of them. What? Oh, right here, Jordan. Literally right beside the boat. That'll get him. Yeah, look, I already see him. Those are all jumbos. This is what they're coming in on. Feeding on it, probably.
Yeah, it's the end of the... It's getting to the end of the...
Be careful.
Shift.
Oh my gosh. Look at. You're good. Is that the motor? Could be. Oh, it's fucking cold. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is brutal. This is not fun. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning now. And we are finally on our way home. Great outcome. We got a ton of shrimp, filled our bucket to the rim. Probably at least 20, maybe 25 blue crab. But man, the weather was rough on us coming back into shore. Oh my goodness. It is 44 degrees right now, which for down here in the Keys, it's cold. I know if everywhere else, anybody up north, you guys are used to that kind of weather. Down here in the Keys, we're used to 80 plus degrees year round nearly. So for it to be 44, like, weird things happen. Our environment changes, the fish start floating and dying in the ocean, like right in front of us. Like, it's not supposed to get this cold down here, typically at least. So we decided to go out tonight because of this front that's coming through. The wind stirs up all of the shrimp, stirs up the crabs, everything that's out there. And, we took advantage of that. And the weather then took advantage of us. Everybody's safe, everybody had a really good time. And we're going to have a really nice, big seafood dinner coming our way in very short order, which is what the whole point of coming out tonight was. So we're just going to ice brine these shrimp in the cooler for the night since it's so late already. We basically filled up the cooler with some fresh salt water. We're gonna get another bag of ice and dump it in there and just ice hibernate them, so to speak. We'll get up in the morning and start shucking heads off of these guys. Yeah, that was an adventure. That was a good time. Like I said, it was rough, but we had a really, really fun time, and we did what we set out to do, so I'm happy, and I will sleep well tonight. So it's the next day. We ice brined the shrimp overnight because it was so late last night that we were too tired to actually deal with them.
It's 4:30.
It was late.
Laid down.
And so we put them on ice, and now we're going to spend the rest of our lives taking the heads taking the heads off of these things and bagging them up. It's probably going to be, I don't know, maybe an hour or two's worth of work, realistically, maybe more.
So worth it.
We are icing down the crabs too. That's freezing water that we just dumped in Jordan's parade.
This one's pissed too. It's like trying to grab the thumb. I don't like hearing shells cracking. The ice bucket challenge. Just a day at the spa.
And we're gonna go ahead and throw some ice on them to kind of just slow them down so that one, they're easier for us to handle and shuck when we reach in there to get them, and two, they kind of just go into like hibernation mode, and it calms them down, so killing them is much quicker and less stressful on them. Definitely a nice little haul from last night. There's a bunch more under the ice.
Yeah.
You guys will see jumbos like that. That is a huge shrimp. That is a lobster of a shrimp.
Dude,
right
not
there.
Kidding, man.
Freshly caught. You can't get better than that.
Yeah, nothing fresher.
So let's get to work. Pro tip. A lot of people ring their shrimp and they pinch the head and twist like that. That actually wastes a little bit of meat. If you put your thumb under the head and push down and grab its little legs and pull up, you get a nice big chunk of meat at the end that you don't actually waste. And now it's a time lapse. Just
That's a behemoth, dude. That is like insanity.
that's a grouper bait.
Dude.
Alright, y'all. There's the cooler. We emptied it. Almost a couple hours worth of work. We got all the heads. We're gonna go and dump them back into the bay or the ocean and let whatever fish or whatever in there chow down, give it back to the environment. And this is what we've come up with. This is an ice bag.
16-pound ice bag.
16-pound ice bag. I don't know. Somewhere between 10 and 15 pounds of shrimp. We got a bag of small bait shrimp, which honestly not bad for the amount that we got. So we'll use those to catch some fish. And there's some nice jumbos here, just so you can see the size. Beautiful. Shrimp tempura. Now on to the blue crab. They are iced down, but definitely still alive and kicking. We're gonna shuck them and get them frozen as well. Ooh, please don't pinch me. Ah, please don't pinch me. Look at how beautiful the color is on these guys. Beautiful blues and oranges.
Those are the lungs.
Wild.
And the females have this bigger flap on the bottom of them. This is where all the eggs are when they spawn. And so we always want to make sure that the females don't have any egg clutches, and if they do, then we throw them back. And the males have a pointed abdomen. So you can see the difference. That's a female right there. That's a male right there. And the different colorization on the tops are due to their molting cycle. If it's darker, they're probably an older shell, and if it's lighter, it's a newer shell, I would guess. I don't actually know for sure, but... What is that? Ruby thinks it's a new toy.
So the way you clean these guys, or at least the way I clean them, you stick a spoon in here, grab onto this little knuckle here, push down on the spoon, pop the shell off, flip your spoon over, you got their gills. Okay, just flick those guys off. And then they got this little tab here, which is like where their little face. That sounds bad. It's their mouth, I guess. And then you'll just see like there's this guts, cruddy gut stuff in there. You just flick it out. You don't gotta get it all. It just adds flavor. Then you're left with a half. And a lot of your meat is in this part here. Obviously you got claw meat and stuff. With bigger crabs like Dungeness and snow crab and king crabs, you've got a lot of leg meat. But with these particular blue crab, you get a lot of your meat in here. And you can pick through this stuff, you'll get some meat, but most of it comes from the ribs, I guess you could call it.
Got ourselves a boil coming up. Alright guys, so we're here in the yard. We're cooking up the shrimp and the crabs. Obviously we got it all hooked up already. Water's full. We're just getting ready to boil it. So I'm going to put the grate in. A little bit of salt just to help it get to a boil. And we're going to add our Louisiana spice seasoning in there. I'm going to go a little lighter than I normally would because the rest of the family doesn't necessarily prefer too much heat, so it'll be a little bit on the light side for heat, but a good couple cups worth.
Stop. That's enough.
It's a lot of water, guys.
I know. I'm just like
couple
scared,
cups
man.
worth, all right?
That'll be perfect. Just
kind of get it mixed up there. We got a spatula, we'll stir it up a little bit. And we already got some garlic cloves in there. Alright, we got oranges and limes. Let me get some of that nice juice going in there. Throw the whole thing in. We obviously rinsed and cleaned everything before we're doing this. Give everything a nice little rinse down.
Oh, that smells good.
Already, right? Everybody wants it a little sweeter than spicier, so I'm gonna do more oranges because my family's weak. Stick of butter because why not? Alright, so we got a bag of red potatoes, halved onions, we got 3 of them there total, our corn. We got 3 cloves, entire cloves of garlic, or whatever the whole entire thing's called, but one's already in there. Mushrooms, portobellos, our shrimp. We went to the store and got some mussels because we thought they would go good with everything, and our blue crab. Sausage, more orange, and lemon. if we decide we want more. And obviously butter, because once it's all cooked, we're gonna melt that down and use it as the dipping.
So this is where all of the seafood goes as it comes out of
Just the holding
there.
area, and then we can put tin foil back over top of it as we take it out, because we're gonna take this in a couple of segments. We're gonna do crab and corn first, and then shrimp, and the rest of it kind of just based on the times it all needs to cook. And then once, by the end of it all, it'll all be cooked and delicious. Alright, so we're at a boil now. Not a raging boil yet, but almost there.
A strong simmer.
Pull the pot out, and this is really hot on my hand.
Dude.
Cover that back up so it stays nice and hot. Blue crab and corn going in first. Anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes.
How many blue crabs?
25 total.
25 total.
We
cleaned
halves.
them. We halved them. There goes the corn.
Now, let's sink these back down in there and let it get to a boil. Once it's boiling, we're going to set a timer for about 10 minutes. See what it looks like. Alright. We got a glove this go around because that's probably smarter.
Because we learned from our mistakes.
So corn and crab. We're going to let that drain just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and dump all this into the Yeti. I got no grip with the glove now.
We're gonna dump all this into the Yeti.
There we go.
Take 2. Alright, so now we're throwing in our fresh caught Florida keys. Look at these things.
Beautiful.
Beautiful shrimp.
Some of them have the heads on, some of them don't. The real big ones we like the heads on. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that's a good amount of shit. Look at these things.
Let that come back to a boil.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so we threw another onion in there and another whole orange. 1 whole onion, 1 whole orange. Now we're gonna add the mussels. Shrimp have been in there for about 2 minutes.
This is essence of the ocean. Right here.
Dump those guys in there. Yeah, buddy, seafood feast.
Give it a little stir. Oh man.
Yeah. That steak is so good.
Alright, it's been a few minutes. Gonna do what we did before. Let this drain.
I'm just gonna try to toss those onions back in there.
Get our oranges. Ooh, those are nice and soft actually. Woo!
Oh, baby. Yes. Yes, y'all. We've been looking forward to this night.
Oil goes back on.
Now we're gonna throw in the potatoes, some mushrooms, and just kind of let them cook, because they take a little bit longer, and we've been out here for a while, so there's some people hungry, so we're gonna go ahead and get these served and let the potatoes and everything get cooked a little bit later on and go from there. Alright,
We got our potatoes in.
Go ahead, you take
A little more garlic. Sorry, bro.
No, go for it. Go for it. I've been talking this whole time.
We're adding some more lemons here. Get that citrus kick. Because we love our citrus. And got our mushrooms. Just
Full portobellos, baby.
Baby bells. Those take about 15 minutes, so they can go in about the same time as the red potatoes, because if we were doing russets, it'd be like a 30-minute timer, but because we're doing these little ones, and these will float anyway.
Give them a little mix up there. That's one way of doing it.
Just submerge them a little.
Alright, 15-20 minutes, we're coming back to that. Okay, the leftovers. Oh my goodness.
I think we should have cooked more, Daniel.
Still more? Nothing but shells and
carnage. It was
yes.
amazing.
Alright guys, so that was a lot of fun. Thanks so much for tuning in. We had a good time with all the family, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching us catch, prep, and cook all of this.
This is the leftovers.
This is what's left after everything that we had. We put on a feast for sure. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys next time.